Wilson Morales from Black Men TV, talking to the one and only Wendell Pierce on this illustrious career that still keeps expanding. How's it going, Mr. Pierce?
Very good, Wilson. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, is there anything you say no to? Because every time I'm on TV, with the exception of London, I can't find you anywhere. I can't find you anywhere. Either you're on an episode of Suits or, on an old episode of Chicago PD on IO9,
Yes.
somewhere along the line, if I Google Pierce, it's going to tell me where I can find you. So
Oh, wow.
what goes into saying yes to the projects you take?
First, I want to build a body of work. I say no to a lot, Wilson, contrary to what it appears to be. I say no a lot. What really guides me is good writing, right? And the development of story is key. Across the board, you want to try to find a piece that is written really well. Also, to do something that is, I think of my body of work, right? So there's dexterity and diversity and seeing me in ways that I haven't been seen before or whatever. And so I try to do that as much as possible. Sometimes it's very difficult, but that's the thing that spurs me, and that's why there's a plethora of different things, and I'm appreciative that people want to work with me. I see myself in the best sense of the word as a journeyman actor. I took a great deal of time and effort to train, went to Juilliard, the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, and I always wanted to do as much as I could do, doing different things. I try to do a play, a film, and television every year, and look back and on a body of work. So that's what I'm trying to do.
You've got this role coming up, Elsbeth, which you play a captain. You've played a drug dealer, you've played an FBI informant. Now you're playing a captain. Talking about this series, why you said yes, and how long did it take you to blend into the character you're playing?
Why I said yes, one of the main reasons is Carrie Preston. She's wonderful. She is Elsbeth. She has created a character that has been living in the American television universe for over a decade in Elsbeth Tascioni. And to develop this role for her now to be the lead in the show, I thought was great. I wanted to work with her. I like the character. And I'm discovering more and more and more. I love the writers and creators, Robert and Michelle King, and they as they develop the role and develop the show, I have input by their writing for me and things that I bring to the show. And as I'm discovering what they're trying to do with the show, it went over my head that it really was kind of like Columbo. And I saw this thriller right away. I was looking at the murder mystery and the whodunit and how done it. But it was all of a sudden I had this epiphany. I was like, wait, this is like Columbo. And everybody's like, welcome to the party. When do we've known that?
I said Columbo, add Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, that's another one. I hadn't thought about that one. And then with a history and a story that is lingering out there, a little bit of the fugitive, the one-armed man. Who is the one-armed man? What is up with Wagner? So it's all of those things that made me come to the show. But especially Carrie. This is someone I love the role that she had created and wanted to be a part of developing a show for that character, Elsbeth.
Mm-hmm. Now you're currently playing Snaps on Raising Kanan. Now that you have another show, it could only allude to assume that Snaps ain't going to be around long enough unless they work it out with your schedules. Like, we don't know.
One of the things that I'm proudest of is that the two are coexisting. As answer to your earlier question, which is, I see you on everything. You are seeing a demonstration of two characters that are polar opposites. And it's a demonstration of, and a challenge that it gives me as an actor. I hope that people can appreciate the fact that those are happening at the same time and are totally different. And that hopefully speaks to the work that I do, and the dexterity that I do it with, and the fact that I'm an actor that can give you that range. I'm very proud of that. Right? And Elsbeth has been very kind in allowing me to be able to do that, and have those working out together. So it's great. I feel like Chris Maloney. Remember when he was on Law and Order and Oz at the same time? It was that's what the opportunity that I have here. I think it was someone like Carrie herself. When she was doing Elsbeth, I didn't even realize at the time. It may have been an overlap, but True Blood. I totally forgot about True Blood, and Claws.
Claws, yeah.
And so, that's another reason I wanted to work on the show. Carrie's emblematic of what I'm trying to do. I mean, people know her and go, "Oh my God, that's right. She was in True Blood. That's right. She was Claws. That's right. Elsbeth Tascioni." And so it just shows you the diversity and dexterity of actors who have the chops to do it.
And there aren't that many people that can blend into the characters, to the different range of characters. And then when they see you and they're like, okay, he's played a top-notch lawyer, he's playing a CIA agent. When you get these characters that you're playing, is there a frame of reference you're using into how to work that character? Like, obviously, when you're playing a cop, you got to get in cop mode. But when you're playing Snaps, you got to be in that fearsome mode, that people can't recognize you from somewhere else. What goes into embodying the character that you're playing, whether it's somebody that's supposed to be cheerful or fearsome?
Be specific in your work, in your research. The more specific you are, you're able to find the humanity of the person and why they are who they are. So you have to create a history of what brought them to that place, and what has developed their personality traits, and what has developed the character. That's the great work of acting. We are closer to psychologists than anything else. We are students of human behavior, right? And what can make a person go down the road that they choose, that this character chooses. You look at somebody like Snaps, and I didn't have an opportunity to be a part of the regular economy, so I'm going to become a part of the underground economy, and I'm going to be as successful. If given that chance, easily Snaps may have been a CEO at, JP Morgan Chase, but he has found another way. And the same politic of a man like Wagner, who knows I have played my cards correctly. I've done what I was supposed to do. I'm straight and narrow, conservative in the way that you need to be conservative in a police department like the NYPD to get into the position that he's in as a precinct captain. But at the same time, he has a history that may be a little off kilter, a little out of his lane, that took him there also, because we are all not perfect, and we are all a multitude of personalities. So while these men may be totally different, they have aspects of similarity. And the last thing, the more specific you are, the more universal you become. The audience recognizes the humanity in you. And while they may not agree with your choices, or they do agree with your choice, they empathize and understand your humanity. And so that's what I try to key into with every character.
I recently watched season 3 of Jack Ryan, even though it ended at 4, and I was like, you're such a good character. I hated for that series to end because I like the Jack Ryan series. But then again, it's like, okay, obviously, as we all know, Suits is everything old is new again,
Right.
to the point where there's now discussions. Can they bring back the old team again? It's like,
Right.
at the end of the day, when you have this body of work, you never know when when all of a sudden somebody new discovers you, whether it's, old school from people watching Waiting to Exhale to like all of a
Yeah.
sudden, people watching Suits and like, oh, that's that guy. He's still around.
Right.
It's like,
Wilson, you hit the nail on the head. Someone said the other day to me, they said, "Oh, I'm going to be speaking with Wendell Pierce," and their friend said, "Who's that?" Right? And then they showed my pictures to them. And they said, "Oh, that guy, I know him. He was in this. He was in that. He was in this." And what that really is saying is, first of all, that's a great compliment because they're saying that you lost yourself in the role, where I'll recognize who you are as the actor, but I identify you as that character. I know you from this movie or that television show, and so that's very complimentary. And ultimately, that's the sort of career that actors want. That I'm not known for just one thing, and that I'm doing something totally different. And sometimes really good work becomes classic. And what makes something classic is it speaks to the audience when it's done, in the present, in the past, and it'll speak to them in the future. And people's reaction to this reboot of Suits has really been interesting and speaks to that very thing. And so that's what we're trying to create with Elsbeth, that people will be able to relate to it in the present time, and there's another time and place that someone will come to it and have the same connection.
Now, I know we have a short amount of time before I let you go. With Suits, should it come back? Knowing your character was disbarred, can he make a comeback? Is there a way where he can start his own investigation company and bring back the whole team? Or is there a way he can get his little license back?
There's a multitude, like good music, there's a finite amount of notes, but an infinite amount of combinations. And like this, Robert Zane is the sort of man who's inventive enough to make a way out of no way. So you can never count him out. It'll be interesting to see what sort of Easter eggs they may put into this new idea and show that they're coming up with. But easily he's a man, if he's not readmitted to the bar, he can find a way to have an impact still. I'm sure the writers are trying to figure out ways to do that. There'll be little Easter eggs.
What do you tell actors who want to emulate your career to have it as long lasting as you have it, to get the roles you're having, where, as you said, you're getting lost in the characters, so they don't see Wendell Pierce, they see the characters, they see Monk, they see the character, Captain, they see
Right.
all these roles you've played on different shows, and they don't necessarily see you, but they see the character because they've been invested in the character. What do you tell actors who want to emulate that body of career?
Be a student of your craft. When I say that, I'm so surprised at actors who don't go and see plays, never go to the cinema, never know a history of the cinema, to know the careers of people that are not on, in the front foremost part of your thinking. I think about men like James Edwards and Godfrey Cambridge, and Robert Hooks. And people will say, who are they? But me as an actor, I need to know who they were, so I can learn from the wonderful careers that they had. They can build it. So I want young actors to be a student of their craft. Know the plays, know the films, know the history of our work, and constantly try to improve, right? Constantly try to improve. I'm always impressed with the last great performance that I've seen. You know, I'm thinking right now, a colleague of mine, she gave one of the most stellar performances, Ingenue Ellis in Origin, had such an impact on me that it has ignited a fire in me to do more and better work. You know, Death of a Salesman was important to me because it allowed me to see that my best days are not behind me, which I was feeling at the time. It said I still have a lot more to discover. And then Elsbeth, something that I didn't even expect to have this impact on me, brought out a joy in me. It has brought out a joy in me, and working with Carrie and the set has brought out this sort of this playful, joyous nature in me that is a pleasant surprise. So I tell young actors, you never know what can happen, but be a student of your craft. I did a little movie with a student filmmaker in New Orleans years ago. He asked me to come down one weekend, and I did this movie, and it was his student movie, and he was 17 years old, a kid by the name of Philip Yeomans. That movie was Burning Cane, and it won the Tribeca Film Festival.
I was there. I saw that.
Yeah, and he's like Terrence Malick. The world discovered this new filmmaker, and then I got recognized as the best actor in the Tribeca Film Festival that year, and that was totally unexpected. That my attempt to work on this small student film in New Orleans got the attention of the film world that took us to Venice Film Festival, Tribeca Film Festival, and all over. So you never know what can happen from you just doing the work and being a student of your craft.
Mr. Pierce, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Obviously, we're going to continue to talk because you're going to always keep working, which your work gives me work, so wherever you're at, keep shining. We're here to support. I'll see you on Elsbeth, week after week. Until meantime,
yes.
Be praising Kanan, whatever else you may be on. So take care. Be merry.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Wilson.
Bye.